be hyping first thing? Sounds good.
Sacred flame. In my embrace, find ecstasy, no shame. Oasis glittering in your desert of lust. Follow my lead, in me you'll trust. Wrapped in gold, a goddess untamed. Alter my name, never be the same. Sultry whispers igniting your soul, witnessing your desires unfold. Skin kissed by desert sun, your speechless can't guide your tongue. Perfect, the way she work it, don't found it, don't know if you deserve it. Going crazy out of your mind, her body simply divine. Perfect, why don't you prove it? Get down on your knees, pray like you deserve it. Lost in my charm, your surrender's delightful, seducing your mind with a lure oh so rightful. Every lovely curve and sway, baby, captivate ya. A goddess on a mission, don't you underestimate. My presence commands your attention. My divine decree, a goddess like me, you are not ready to see. Divine, sublime, every move that I make, provoking your need, hypnotic and erotic. The force you can't resist, making you beg and plead, magnetic. Come and get it. My beckoning smile, fueling your desire on a flame. Scream my name, still come to temptation. I am a goddess. Skin kissed by desert sun, your speechless can't cut your tongue. Perfect, the way she work it, don't found it, don't know if you deserve it. Going crazy out of your mind, her body simply divine. Perfect, why don't you prove it? Get down on your knees, pray like you deserve it. Come away into my embrace, tears vanish without a trace. In my world, baby, you're one for nothing. Mesmerized, gazing upon grace, lips savoring the taste. Surrender, now my love is your ecstasy. Skin kissed by desert sun, your speechless can't cut your tongue. Perfect, the way she work it, don't found it, don't know if you deserve it. Going crazy out of your mind, her body simply divine. Perfect, why don't you prove it? Get down on your knees, pray like you deserve it. Want me to be your? Are you ready to please your? Would you die for me, your? Come worship your. Howdy! And welcome to the Howdy. I'm fine! Stop saying get better! I'm okay. No panic necessary. Everything is fine. Now I get it. I asked a while back, hey you guys, why do people keep saying that I'm sick or that something's wrong? Where are you getting this idea from? Oh, thank you, I will hydrate. Yeah, so it turns out, hang on, let me add YouTube in here before I forget. Turns out that it's because I had a pinned message on YouTube that said I was sick from a friggin' month and a half ago. Yeah, so I'm dumb. Please forgive. D is not in fact sick. We are just fine.
It is okay. Okay? Everything is fine. Thank
Cadet
you
they
for the
reporting
videos.
for Dut D, sir.
Cadet? You're a cadet? Do I look like I train cadets? Go find your officer. I'm enlisted. Okay, for those of you who don't know, D was prior active duty military. I've been recovering for the words. Wick words so good. I've been recovering for the I did it again! Tongue exercise, please. I'm tired. I've been recovering for the past. There we go. P, not F sounds, D. You can do this. I've been recovering for the past 5.5 years from military injuries. I was thrown out of a helicopter and smashed the entire left side of my body. So now you might get why half of me is dark colored too. There's representation for my injuries on my model. Words are so hard today, but you guys, it's my fault. It's because I stayed up late being a goober with Dahlia and the homies because Dahlia was playing the Tomodachi Life game for the first time ever. And she was like, hey D, do you want to come over? I'm gonna make you in Tomodachi Life. And she made D and Rainbow and Cozy, little Cozy Dwagger Witch. And she made Wolf. And she made, hang on, who else did we get? Yuki? Yeah, one of her besties. And it was an absolute blast. Oh my god, I haven't laughed that hard in ages. My face hurt, my stomach hurt. It was so much fun. Skipping karaoke to hang out with the homies and scream over game was absolutely worth it. I made the same goals too. I was able to mostly lose my voice and enjoy hanging out with people. That's the best part of getting to participate in silly whimsical games. Because, you guys, it was lore accurate. It was lore accurate. D and Dahlia becoming awesome friends immediately. Cozy and D just gabbing about nothing. I was like, oh my god, this is real. How does Tomodachi Life get this? The only thing that wasn't accurate was D completely ignored our little brother! Rainbow, I'm sorry! They did not get along. She tried to wiggle and be friends, and he was like, nah, bro, I'm done with this weirdo. And I was like, oh, come on! No! That is not a canon event. It seems to be semi-prescient. What is semi-prescient? Oh, I gotta look up a word now. We're expanding our vocabulary. Let's go. Pardon me, I'm Army. Hang on. Prescient describes having, showing knowledge of events before they occur. It's prophetic. So you mean I'm gonna ignore Rainbow? But I don't want to ignore Rainbow. That's my little brother. No, we just adopted him. And now we're unadopting. Oh, this is horrible. The wiggles being super effective. Check your Nostradamus. Ignoring RR is the reason it's semi. I'm gonna need you to elaborate. What does that mean? Ignoring RR is the reason it's semi? I need more words to describe what you're talking about. I'm missing context. Oh, Rainbow! RR. I've never seen Bemis abbreviated as RR before. Ignoring Rainbow Roost is the reason it's not fully prescient. Okay. We learned a new word today, guys. Prescient. Yippee! So today is a long-awaited demilitarization stream. I try to do one of these a month, but the last one kept getting pushed off, along with trying to do a community clip review around once a month or so to look at like our community favorite moments, things like that. But you know how it goes. The brain is smooth sometimes, the wiggles are daily, and D plans too many things and loses track of time. That's really what it is. We plan all the things and we want to do all the things, and then I lose track of time, and the month just doesn't have enough space, nor the body enough time without sleep. So, for those of you who didn't know, D was prior active duty military. I have deployed twice, and I have seen active combat, hence the getting exploded out of a helicopter. There are things that I cannot tell you about. So ground rules for demilitarization, that you as cuties in chat, you can share this with anyone who asks. You have my consent. You can tell this next part, the disclaimer, to other people in chat. You have my consent. There are certain things D cannot talk about, because some things are not declassified. Other things remain secret or have to have names or places changed to protect identities of people involved, as well as things that I talk about can't completely be revealed because that would be giving away government secrets. We can't do that, otherwise we wouldn't be trusted by governments anymore. And I like being a trusted person because it means that I can hold responsibility. It means that I can be in important places, and it also gives me the ability to help lots of people. So I don't want to lose that. So names of places and people are sometimes changed in my stories so that I don't go blabbing secrets that I'm not supposed to. Times of events have sometimes been altered, as well as certain weaponry used or terminology used to describe certain scenarios. Okay? So there are things I cannot talk about, but I can give you the roundabout stories. I can tell you all about my experience, why I loved it, why I didn't love it. I can tell you what it was like to be in active duty. I can tell you how frightening it was, and how much of an adrenaline rush in some of the best and worst ways it was to actually have to defend yourself or your squad mates while you're in live fire situations. I've been in many emergency situations in and out of my military training, and even before being a member of the services, I was very responsible as a young Sphinx. And D was always able to handle an emergency. Being in the military just gave me the ability to do it better in certain ways because of exposure. One of the things the military is really, really good at training your brain for is breaking you down to the core of who you are as a person and building you back up. It redefined for me the word I can't and made me recognize that it has nothing to do with my current abilities and only to do with what I have extended myself towards from here or into the future. Avia says everything is fine as she coughs. I drink my coffee too fast. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. If my voice goes, it's because I've been doing karaoke twice a week for fun. And if I'm sniffling, it's because I forgot to take an medication, which is actually related to talking about deployment. So, in my deployment, we were exposed to burn pits. I'm not sick! And it's only recently that the military has decided to address a lingering condition of mine and been like, oh yeah, burn pits probably caused that. So we're gonna try and treat it. So now I'm finally getting the help that I need. The doctors in the wilds that I moved to have been worlds better than in the place where D was previously. So I sniffle now and then if I forget to take a medication for too many days. And that's just the ADD makes me forget, despite numerous alarms. I'm not sick, though. Stop telling people I'm sick. I'm not sick. Stop telling people I went on vacation because I was sick. I wasn't sick. I went on vacation because I'm training for a Spartan race. Because in my core, even after leaving the military, I am an army meathead. And I look, heavy thing, lift heavy thing, make feel strong. Monkey brain. I was prepping my will. My will is already prepped. My sisters get everything, and so does my dad and my bestie Brittany, so that she can spoil her dog, my nephew, Spock. I'm sick because of the cool tricks I can pull. Yeah, we're so sick because we can do a flip. Look at this. Hang on. Whee! You will definitely learn how to do that in the army. Boop. Thank you for the boop. I gotta keep my arms in, otherwise they'll fly off. Hypno. Yeah, you don't need a Hypno Toad, just Hypno D. Okay, there is a question in chat. Is it true that I can refuse an order under certain circumstances? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Also, hi Berg, welcome to D.
Some water.
Thank you, I will hydrate. Hi, Capiochi, welcome to D.
Hello, D.
So, can you refuse an order? The short answer, it depends. You have to be willing to back up why you refused an order. I'm actually working through, because, you know, that whole you go to combat, you unalive people, screws with your brain a little bit. Hi, Raymond, welcome to D. We're talking about military stuff. So I'm working through a particularly gruesome memory where I wanted to disobey an order and I didn't. And to this day, I blame myself for the horrible outcome of that mission. Because I had a clear shot on a bad guy, but my commanding officer told my squad to back down. I had been tracking a bad guy for about a month and a half at this point. We knew exactly what he was planning. He was planning to be a suicide bomber outside of a school. Now, this happened years ago. And if it didn't screw with you, you still need to see someone? Yes. Because war has tremendous effects on the human adjacent psyche. Whilst I am still Sphinx, there is still a part of me which is still semi-human and has empathy. And I care about people and potentially hurting people. So, times when it is deemed acceptable to disobey an order are situational at best. Let me put my wings down a bit and we can be a little bit more professional about this. So when I say it depends, no matter if you believe you have good reason to disobey an order or not, you will. So this is guaranteed. If you disobey an order, you are going to have to stand before a board or committee of your chain of command and explain why you did that. If it doesn't happen immediately following the mission, it's going to happen when everything has settled down. You will face consequences for disobeying your chain of command. The chain of command is there for a very specific purpose, and that is to ensure orders are carried out from top bottom and that actions are reasonable. We have checks and balances to make sure that things that shouldn't happen don't, and that multiple people look at an order and go, yeah, that's reasonable, we should do the thing. So in the case of my mission, which I am still seeing someone to talk about, in this particular mission, we had what I deemed in the heat of the moment, which is how they would describe it, a clear shot. I had clear line of sight to the bad guy, who we know was strapped like from hell to high water with explosives. I could have taken the shot. I could have taken him out. But our commanding officer told us to stand down. The result was, unfortunately, that this individual did detonate themselves, and it was outside of a school. So to this day, I do still struggle going near school environments and hearing children scream. That gets to be a trigger, sadly. And it's one of the reasons why I struggle with first-person shooter games, because I've been in very close combat situations. But in this moment, the commanding officer chose to have us stand down for 3 very important reasons. The first of which, the man in question, the insurgent, he was approaching a windowed wall of a classroom before he detonated. Had I missed the shot, had any one of my squad mates taken the shot and missed, we could have hit a student. We could have hit a civilian. So that's part 1. The part 2 of this is, what would the media have thought? No matter if shooting or ending the life of one person would have saved the entire school, it means nothing if the view of the people, of the population, is turned against the military in such a way that we can no longer defend them from future attacks. The officer had to take that into consideration. Is what he's doing there going to be perceived as giving the order to potentially harm civilians? Because there was no winning for us when we were local. Also, hi, welcome to D! Yeah, you don't hear a lot about how this affects orders. The officer is trained to take the full situation into consideration. So he has to think about, what is the media going to do with this situation afterwards? If we let the insurgent carry out his insurgency, what happens is we get to say, horrible insurgent did horrible things. And we could not stop it without injuring or potentially injuring innocent lives. Innocent lives were lost, but no one talked about that. They only talked about bad guy did bad things. Had we stopped bad guy, as was tradition for the military or the media of the region, it was highly likely that the media would have gone, the joint soldiers present opened fire in front of a school, potentially putting thousands of innocent children's lives in danger. We can't have them anywhere near our schools. They couldn't hunt their bad guys somewhere else. This is part of the training officers get. And even though enlisted versus officer, we get a lot of back and forth where it's like, hey, we're boots on ground and we do the dirty work. Officers have to be trained to analyze the situation, to recognize what's the best possible outcome for the long-term benefit of any war effort. So, had I disobeyed orders, I would have had to explain why I believed what I was doing was of a higher level of benefit to the long-term war effort versus what my commanding officer, told me to do, or told us not to do in this case. I would have had to be able to stand in front of a board of my peers and explain that I thought his order was crazy, that I had a clear shot, that I could have saved all of those lives. And I think about this at least once a week. This is pretty close to home for D. Can you disobey an order if you are willing to back it up? There are instances where you can, with evidence, disobey an order. If you know for a fact that your commanding officer is not of sound mind or body to be giving the order that they are, if you have knowledge of the situation of your squad in such a way that your squad mates would be put in danger outside of a reasonable accommodation of the mission. And there are a few Civil War movies that have shown leadership that made poor decisions like this. where you've got 3 guys with broken limbs, you are trying to make it back to base, and they want you to full-on frontal assault an enemy force. And you're like, no, sir, we need to fall back and regroup. So, yes, you have to weigh the pros and cons of any decision of this magnitude very carefully. Can you say I'm taking over command? If your commanding officer is proven incompetent in those ways, like they are not in sound mind or body, there is a chain of command that trickles down through the last member of the squad that leaves you in a position where even the last man standing is capable of making decisions. So yes, backing up the refusal has to be, yes, Father Malakas, you've got it. It has to be very airtight. You can't just say, well, my commanding officer was unconscious because he was hit by stray debris and he has a concussion. He was not able to make decisions in that moment. The first thing your command is going to ask you is, how long did it take him to wake up? When did you go and secure the area and make sure that your officer woke up before taking over command from him? That's going to be the first thing that they ask you, and I know this because it happened to my sister squad. So this is a true story with certain things changed to, again, protect identities of individuals involved and the details of the mission. But they were doing a convoy operation. They were far away from base, and they hit an IED. Blew up under the truck. Everybody was okay until they left the vehicle to scan around the area and clear. They were ambushed out in the middle of nowhere because insurgents had dug pits and put camouflage over themselves, and they were severely outnumbered. Their commanding officer on the convoy was injured and concussed, and he was unconscious. So after clearing the area, the sergeant present told the convoy to turn around and head back. They secured their area, but then instead of staying to grab any clues, to grab any pieces of information off of the body of the insurgents to find out which groups they might have been from, to actually like walk through the area and get more information, he turned around and brought them back. And command brought him in front of a board and asked, did you set up a perimeter at all and wait for your commanding officer to like resume consciousness? How long was he out? He was out for 30 minutes. That was it. He woke up in the convoy as they were coming back, and he's like, why did you leave? Why did you leave? And they're like, sir, you're injured. We've got 3 guys who are bleeding and we need to get help. And he's like, no, we don't. We're okay. We have supplies. Did you forget we have supplies with us? It became a whole deal. So you cannot just take over command without reasonable evidence. And this sergeant got in trouble for this, for turning the whole convoy around because he missed an opportunity to gather intel. Hi, oysters, welcome to... No, I'm not sick! Stop saying that I'm sick! I'm not! I'm fine! I'm okay. That was a message. It was misplaced on YouTube. I'm fine! I'm okay! La 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 la, I'm okay, I'm fine! I'm okay! Everything is fine. Camo pits, oddly successful tactic for thousands of years. Yes, because when you are staring at the same type of terrain and you're traversing a desert for miles and miles and miles, everything starts to look the same. Every rock looks the same, and you forget that you're supposed to switch out people so that your peepers can get a rest and another person's peepers can scan for bad guys. Backing up the refusal needs to be airtight, so you cannot just take over command without really, really solid evidence. Yeah. It gets very samey staring at rocks. Hi, DC Sensei, welcome to D! Yes, I'm telling military stories. So, I was deployed. I did get to play in the sandbox. And I feel like the military, something I don't talk about enough is how prepared I feel it made me for the rest of life, and also how weird it feels being on the outside. When you're active duty within the military, you're part of a team, you're part of a... Stop saying get well! I'm fine! How many times do I have to tell you I'm fine? It's okay! I'm not sick! Oh my god. So, I feel like when you're in the military, you're part of a team, part of a squad, part of a unit, part of a command, and you have battle buddies, you've got family around every corner. Whenever you want to see your friends, you just go kick down their barracks door and you go, hey, buddy, we're going to hang out. Come hang out with us. And your friends are super close and you build really tight-knit relationships with every member of your squad. Even if you don't get along, you are battle buddies. You are trained to take care of each other. And it's a whole team family mentality that goes beyond what I think we feel in the average civilian family unit. And that is something I miss. I miss my squad mates that I loved hanging out with. I miss on a Friday night being able to walk for less than 5 minutes, knock on 6 doors and go, hey homies, we're gonna go gather at so-and-so's house. Who wants a ride? We're gonna go play D&D, or we're gonna go hang out and play video games, or we're going down to the new place that's got axe throwing, or oh my god, we're going swimming, or hey, we're going to the beach on a Saturday morning. Do you want to come with us for a fun run? Because we did run for fun and just did things together. And that was wonderful to have your favorite people so close. When you were in Saudi, your parents took you on a 5-day car trek across the desert, following Lawrence of Arabia's trail. Oh, that's so cool. You went all the way to Jordan? Oh my god, that must have been a gorgeous camping trip. Sand rock bush, and then another bush that looks exactly like the 15 others you saw. You missed the monkeys, not the circus. Exactly, Blitz, you've got it. It was like a college dorm, but better, because we had better hygiene. Story time. So, no soldier, their D was in basic, when the boys learn how to not be gross. It's in basic training where they identify the really gross goobers, because in basic training, you are forced to get used to 4-hour rotations of sleep. That's how it was for us. And as part of this, some people would skip doing things at the end of the night to try to get a little bit more sleep. But boys in the dictionary with a nose with dirt on it. Hi, Dennis Austin, welcome to D! So in basic, the boys had one very notoriously stinky member of a platoon for weeks. And people were like, why does he smell so bad? Why is he so gross? And it was because, boy was not showering for 3 weeks. It was so bad, the drill sergeants stopped training for a day, had my favorite drill sergeant gather everyone else up, and we did some light PT and then weapons maintenance for that day. They took him into the showers, had him stripped down, scrubbed him with a Brillo pad, and made an example out of him. They're like, this soldier right here, this private, he's got foot fungus, he's got weird growing on him, he stinks, he smells, and he's gonna be the reason that everyone in his barracks is getting sick. They made a very loud example of him, and they're like, we teach you guys how to clean up after yourself for a reason. You live in close quarters with like 15 other men. You cannot be doing this. And he was like, but I needed to get more sleep. I need to get more sleep, drill sergeant. And they were like, no, you need to get used to this because your body can. Okay, hang on. My Zoom is broken now. Hold on. There we go. Fixed it. So he was like, but I, and they were like, no, we're going to teach you how to shower efficiently. So he had a drill sergeant for an entire week, every evening, bring him to the showers and go, you got your little shower caddy, buddy. You got your shower caddy. You got your soap and a washcloth. You got it. You good? You got toothpaste? You good, buddy? And he'd be like, now scrub your hair. Wash your hair. You lather the soap. Lather that soap for a full 30 seconds, Private. Lather the soap. We could just hear him yelling down the hall. And like a couple of times I was night guard. So I was standing in the hall trying so hard not to laugh, hearing the drill sergeant screaming at him, and I'm scrubbing. We're scrubbing because we're nasty. Is gross. You're scrubbing. Now change positions, Private. Change. Get front, back, up, down, left, right, front, back. The whole freaking time. I was trying so hard not to laugh. He went full kill mode in the shower. And after a week, he's like, so now, do we learn? You're going to show us proper showering, hygiene. Like, he made him demo this in front of a squad the 4th week at morning formation, and he's like, drill sergeant, I will now demonstrate the proper way to clean oneself, drill sergeant. And he's like, first you start with the soap, and he was showing us, you lather it for full 30 seconds, and drill sergeant's like, how many seconds? 30 seconds, drill sergeant. He's like, you will lather from top to bottom. You will use your washcloth. And then what do you do when your washcloth is dirty? You rinse your washcloth, drill sergeant. And he taught him how to shower efficiently and in a cleanly way, in such a way that he was able to rid his body of said fungus, but he did need to get like a special medication for it. And he was so efficient at it, he mastered the 3-minute shower, so that the drill sergeant was able to prove to him it takes you 3 minutes to make sure you are not disgusting, that you will not spread disease to the rest of your bunkmates, but I hope you'll take at least a 5-minute shower for the rest of basic. Drill sergeants are harsh, but it comes from a very good place. They have to be harsh. Their role is to break down your societal norms and reframe everything into something that's going to serve you in the military. The way to survive basic training is to understand everything they make you do is for a reason. I say this with one of my besties, who I swear is going to be the first female sergeant major of the military. She's awesome. She went drill sergeant after we came back from deployment. And when she was going through training, she was telling me all about it. She's like, all of the tips and tricks they give us, all the tools, is how to get you out of your head. She's like, I could write a psychological thesis on this. It's so good. And she was already built for it. Yes, you've got it, Ice Vein. The purpose of drill instructors is to be hard on you, to make you better. I mastered the 3-minute shower and now I'm unstoppable, but it only happened after I got a fungus new manga title in the works! Yes! 1000%! Oh my god. I had a really close relationship with one of my drill sergeants, and I've mentioned him before. We're gonna call him, for the sake of this story, Drill Sergeant Gary. We'll call him Drill Sergeant Gary, okay? And I will probably forget that this was the name that I gave him, because it's not his name. Drill Sergeant Gary was stone-faced, no expression whatsoever, never laughed. And he knew that I could do push-ups like no one's business. This was back in basic, and everyone brought me as their battle buddy when they needed to talk to the drill sergeants, because you had to have a friend there doing push-ups. Well, he was there when my first major injury of my military career happened, and it was in basic. There was a female in another platoon who hated me She hated me for the oddest reasons. The first reason was because I looked really stupid with my BCGs. We call them birth control glasses, but they're like your bulletproof eye protection. We call it eye pro. I look really stupid with the big bug eyes and my hair pulled back away from my face. I have a very cute round head, but I did not look good in my BCGs. And she didn't like the way I looked. But then we took a shower and she met me one day in the shower and saw me with my hair down. And she's like, "Who the are you?" And I'm like, it's me, D. And she's like, "Ain't no way, you look like a totally different person." And I'm like, I'm the same. And she just hated my guts. She hated my guts because I looked funny to her and she didn't like how I looked. She's like, "You look sussy, I don't like it." And then, what was it, 4 days later, we were cleaning the barracks and I was on mop duty. So I was doing the bleach mop of the floors and I was singing in the barracks because I can't help but break out into song. And people were like, "Oh my God, D, can you sing this? Can you sing that?" And they're like, I had a drill sergeant walk in and go, "I thought we had a Disney princess in here. What is this? What is this, soldiers?" I was like, "I was just singing, drill sergeant." And he's like, "I didn't tell you to stop, did I? Continue." She hated that. She hated that I could sing because 2 weeks later, as we get closer to graduation, they asked me if I would sing the anthem at graduation. And I was like, "Why? Why?" And they're like, "'Cause you can hold a tune and everybody else is tone deaf, D." And I was like, "Okay, I guess." Apparently she really wanted to do it, and I was like, "She can do it." And they're like, "Well, then I guess y'all will audition for it at our final demonstration now, won't you?" No one looks good in mil specs, correct? iPro sounds like an Apple product. Honestly, with the way mercantilism works in our consumerist society, it might be. So, she did not like me. There is a point in our training where we had to learn pugils. Pugil sticks is like fighting with a long boffer weapon, but they don't call it LARPing. And pugil training is supposed to teach you how to fight with the bayonet on the end of a rifle. There aren't many people who do that because we got combat knives now too. And when we were doing pugil training, she really hated me at this point. So while we were standing in line with our pugil sticks, think of like a long metal pipe with two big round tubes of foam on either end. Okay? Kind of like a circus baton as well. She was grinding the end of her pole into the ground so that the metal pipe was sticking out through the foam. She was grinding it through the cap while we were all waiting in line. And she specifically asked Drill Sergeant if she and I could spar with pugils. And I was holding my own pretty well. You're on a platform and you're supposed to knock the other person off. Our balance was great. And we did a couple of swipes, a couple of moves, and then she very specifically jumps at me and takes the end that she had ground where the metal pipe was sticking out and starts slamming it over and over again into my chest. I'm on the ground at this point, and the drill sergeant has to pull her off me. And I'm like, you already won. What are you doing? And it really hurt. Really hurt. I didn't know what happened, but days go by and the pain doesn't go away. At the end of this, because she wouldn't quit, I punched her in the nose and I broke her nose. And the drill sergeants pulled us apart. So she had a broken nose and I just had this pain in my side that wouldn't go away. And everyone got the gunk that you get when you are shoved into a living situation with like 20, 30 plus strangers. And we were all getting sick, and every time I coughed, my side hurt so much. And like I told the drill sergeants about it. I'm like, everybody's got the crud, but drill sergeant, my side doesn't stop hurting. Something is wrong. And they're like, go to sick hall. So I go to sick hall, and they do some x-rays. And while everyone's feeling great and we're training and we're getting ready for, what was it? We were getting ready to do, what were we doing? We were doing a thing. Everyone was getting ready for, we were getting ready for, was it Nick at Night? We were getting ready for a really big final something for the military. It's where you do like a live fire drill at night, and you clear buildings, and you do shooting, and you crawl on your belly under barbed wire, stuff like that. We were getting ready for this. We were all hanging out in our training bay, talking about how we were going to tackle Nick at Night, laughing with my platoon, when Drill Sergeant Gary comes up to the door, and he's like, hey D, I need to borrow you for a moment, bring a battle buddy. I'm like, oh no, and my squad mates are like, oh what did you do, D? And I was like, I need a battle buddy. And one of my girlies was like, okay, I got you. So she comes to do push-ups when we're standing by drill sergeant. And he's like, don't push. This is going to take a while. And we were like, okay, what happened? And he's like, so D, we got your x-rays back from sick hall, and I have a very serious conversation to have with you. I was like, okay, drill sergeant, what happened? What's going on? And he's like, so, good news, this is something that's going to heal. It will be fine. The bad news, you have rib fractures. The girl fractured my ribs with a pugil stick. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And he's like, you have a crack along two of your ribs on the left side. I was like, oh, come on. And he's like, you have a decision to make. All right, D? You can either stay in training, finish out, you've got like 3 weeks left, and Nick at Night is really gonna suck. He's like, I've had rib fractures before, and we just had to tighten our armor. When he was in Iraq when he had rib fractures, and he's like, you can grin and bear it. It is going to suck. It's going to be horrendously painful, and it's only going to get worse until you can rest. And he's like, we will put in for extended rest for you when you get to your first duty station. But you're going to have to grin and bear through a lot of this, and it's going to just get worse. He's like, you can suck it up and deal with that. Or we can roll you into the next class. So then oh yeah, I'll get to that part, Jedi Leader. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to stay and wait until I heal and do basic all over again? Or graduate with my class with rib fractures and carry my gear to my next duty station and through my next 3 weeks of processing until I can finally rest? And, well, you guys know me by now. Of course I sucked it up and I kept driving on. Let's go! And he was not lying! It was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced to this date. He's like, I know that this is going to suck for you. So Drill Sergeant Gary, who was always like silent stoic dad, he watched over me for my last 3 weeks of basic. Because there was nothing you can do if you have rib fractures. You can't immobilize the ribs. You need them to expand and contract so you can breathe. I had to breathe very slowly, very shallowly. And when it was found out that I had rib fractures, the female who had attacked me, whose nose had just started to heal, was summoned to Drill Sergeant's office, and she was dishonorably discharged for that. She was no longer part of our squad or our platoon. Yep. So Drill Sergeant Gary, when we were at Nick at Night, our final graduation, crawling through the sand, crawling underneath a live fire, banging down doors and stuff, he saw me struggle for the first time. Push-ups had really started to suck because I could feel it burning on the left side of my body. And crawling through the sand, there was sand in my eyes, It made your eyes sting, and like tears were streaming down my face because my eyes were watering so bad. And the pain in my side from trying to drag myself on my left arm was unbearable. I was stuck in the sand under the barbed wire at our final graduation night. So they were blasting loud music, they were simulating the sounds of artillery fire, and the drill sergeants were actually firing over our heads. Now, they were using rubber rounds, but they were still firing over our heads, so if you lift your head, you do get shot in the back of your armor to make sure it works. And you're like, haha, you got shot, and they make you pretend that you're dead. And then a few people have to crawl in and use how you're trained to drag you out of the pit. So I'm stuck. And Drill Sergeant Gary jumps into the pit. He slides into the pit and he comes up alongside me. And I remember, and I will remember this forever, that he, he was screaming in my ear. And he was screaming my name. He's like, D, you're not gonna give up now, are you? You're not gonna give up. He's like, you're gonna pull with your right side. Don't forget, pull with your right side. And I'm like, it hurts, Drill Sergeant. And he's like, I know it hurts, D. Now you're gonna pull, aren't you? You're gonna pull through it. So I let my left side go slack. All of this is happening all at once. There's just a boom, pow, 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 going on over my head. And I reach out my right arm and I tuck my left arm in close, trying not to move my left ribs. Every tiny movement hurt so much. And I was just dragging myself inch by inch with my right arm, forearm digging through the sand, pulling me up to the end so that my battle buddies could reach in and pull me out. But they reached in and they pulled me by both arms and I screamed. But Drill Sergeant Gary was there with me and he grabbed me by the left arm and he stabilized me right there and he's like, you can still roll over if you want to, D. He looked me dead in the eyes and he's like, you're gonna have 3 more weeks of this. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? And I was like, tears streaming down my face. I was an absolute mess. And I was like, I refuse to give up to a sergeant. And he's like, then get in there, kick down that door, and show me what you're made of. Go and shit up. Oh my god. I will never forget that. I will also never forget how he smiled at me like a proud dad at graduation when he got to pin on my rank and when he got to graduate me. We kept in touch via email when I got to my next duty station because I had gotten a letter from him when I got to my duty station that said that he wanted to know if I had healed from rib fractures. And I was like, aw, Drill Sergeant Gary. And he was like, now don't think I'm getting all sentimental on you or anything, but I want to make sure that you actually got there. And I was like, yes, I did. Moving from the barracks to get to a plane and then to get to my first duty station was horrible though. My battle buddies weren't supposed to help me because I made the choice to keep on going. So all the weight of my duffel and my ruck, everything shoved in my big green bag. I tried to put as much weight on my right side as possible, but moving hurt, walking hurt, breathing hurt, everything hurt. It was just constantly pain. And there was a point where I'm like, I wanted to ask for help. But there was also this dead silence in me. When we were sitting on the plane and I passed out from pain. And I woke up and had this moment of like serendipity, had this moment of cognizant recognition of everything I had done. As a civilian, I had been an aerobic fitness instructor. I had learned some foreign languages. I'd run a bunch of clubs. I've always been creative and always had high energy and always done a billion things. But as a civilian... Hi, Bert! Welcome to D! And hi, Master Jericho! Welcome to D! As a civilian, I had always felt very strongly like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. But I was sitting there on the plane, nursing my injuries, and I took like this moment to just do like a full body scan, and I was like, I have done so much more in the military that I never thought I could. I think I need to remove the word I can't from my vocabulary. I've thrown grenades. I shot weapons. I shot real big weapons. I fired artillery. I move, shoot, and communicate with the best of them. I mastered some Morse signals. I'm really good at radio stuff. I never thought I'd do any of this. And I sat there with this like stillness on the plane, and I was like, dang, I never thought I could do this. And the only reason that I was able to push myself to that point was Drill Sergeant Gary. We kept in touch after basic. He let me know when he went warrant officer. He retired 5 years into my military career, right before I went and deployed. And he's very happily retired. And we have since touched base when I got out. And he and I have both had this discussion about how when you're in the military, you've got this family that pushes you constantly. You've got a unit that is embracing the suck with you constantly. It's an environment of trial and error with high stakes and always pushing yourself to be the best version of you. But it's very high adrenaline and it's very high stress. And when you are out of the military, you become something else. And I don't think we talk about this enough. When you are out of the military, you're no longer just returning to being a civilian anymore. You now have with you the scars, mentally and physically sometimes, of your time in service. And you also have this changed mentality of, dang, I can do anything because I have done so many things that I never thought I could do, would do, or should do. But I did it. I could do it. And I know how to teach myself to do that again. And the average civilian doesn't ever experience this. So you feel disconnected from civilians because most people are like, oh, civilians lack discipline. No, there's a mentality that they can't connect with you on, and you feel othered by civilians. And then when you try to connect again with your active duty brethren, they're like, you're no longer active duty. You no longer wear the uniform, so now you've been othered by active duty soldiers. And you become a whole new class of citizen, veteran, which is a title of people who have done the things most people believe they can't, and they don't fit in either circle. But you're supposed to pretend that you're a good civilian after that, while still retaining all of the capability of an active duty service member. You're still, yeah, Old Man Dean, you're still hardwired. Also, Z! Hi, Z! I'm sorry, I was on a story tangent. I'm not ignoring you, I was telling the story. We don't have, yeah, we have don't stuff. We've done stuff, we've seen it. You get wrecked. Hi, Z! How are you? Happy Saturday to my big Z-store. She's gonna be coming back soon, you guys. She's coming back soon. Coming back soon. All right, I'm looking, I'm seeking. You're emailing me the facts. You'll know it's official. Z, oh my God, you're so cute. Welcome, my Z-store. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And to your statement, Datasatsan, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not ignoring you. I was just telling the story. Some civvies have that I can do anything mentality, but it requires some specific circumstances. Truth. Hi, Darnirian. Welcome. We're telling military stories today. So, having all of this behind me and as part of me, it makes it weird to try and integrate myself into society. While I was recovering from injuries from my last deployment, I feel like the hardest part of that has been being like, I don't know how to be a civilian but I have to sort of pretend to be one in order to fit in and not scare people. And the military has served me very well. Whenever there's an emergency, I'm extraordinarily calm in the face of emergencies. I no longer panic, but I don't think I ever really panicked. I think when I was little, maybe I did the thing where I was like scared about some things, but all little kids are scared of stuff now and then. But I have on medical record that when an alarm goes off, and you guys have actually seen me do this on stream when I wear a heart rate monitor, which, oh, I need to set that up for spooky games when I return. When something scary happens and I am surprised and I go, ah, I immediately settle into this calm. My heart rate drops instead of escalating when there's an emergency. And I have these like 10 seconds of pure calm where I collect my thoughts and then move into action. I mean, it doesn't take me 10 seconds to move. I move immediately, but I have this dead 10-second span of calm, and that's military conditioning. Not everyone responds well to military conditioning. Not everyone survives the breakdown that needs to happen to turn you into soldier, marine, airman, sailor. Not everyone survives that, and that's why some people don't finish basic training. Or they finish it, but they're struggling at the end. They don't trust that the things they're being made to do are there to teach you to be better than you were, so that you can survive your service. And there's also a mentality that filters in at higher level of commands that I experienced, where because you don't do a certain job, people treat you differently. And I always found this odd. In basic, you're taught it's us against an enemy. We have to work together. But then when you're in a unit finally, when you go through all your training and you're under a command, you start to see more folks that have been sitting in the military a while who no longer look at the enemy, but they look at different jobs. And they go, oh, because you don't do XYZ job, you're not a real soldier. And that was so surprising to me. I'm like, wait, aren't we all supposed to be one big military family? What happened? Why are we doing this? Why are we like this to each other? And it's because they're chasing the glory of deployment. There is some weird mental isms in the military. When you're first in, there's this stigma of, you don't have a patch on your shoulder, you haven't been deployed, you're not a real soldier yet. That's what was drilled into my head. Or, you've never been in a real unit yet, so you're just a baby soldier, you don't actually know what the real army is like. And then you get a patch on your shoulder, and you get into a real unit, and you get the, oh, well, you're not actually a real soldier because you haven't deployed yet, you don't know what the real army is like. And then you deploy, and it feels like nothing really changes. And they're like, well, you deployed, but you don't work this job, so you don't know what the real army is like. This is like, what is the real military? It doesn't exist. They keep moving the hurdle. They keep changing the goalpost. What's the real military? And then you get to the point where you're like, it doesn't exist. It's not real. What is it? It's not. That's what it is. You have a different response to extreme stress. Your heart rate spikes and you talk. Oh, you take in all data and you act on it. Yeah, mine is heart rate drops and I grab all information all at once. And then I calmly execute and tell people what to do. So, an example, housemates, the ones that I left. This happened a lot. We had a dryer that would set itself on fire. Nobody believed me when I said I could smell smoke every time we were doing dryers on high temps, and that I thought something was wrong with it. Until doing laundry started to set off the fire alarm. Hi, welcome to D. Oh, sorry, I was stretching and I hit my mic. So, I would smell smoke every time they were drying anything on high temps. And I was like, I think something's burning. And then the fire alarm would go off. Every time the alarm would go off, all the housemates would freak out. They go, oh my God, where's the fire? Where's the fire? There was once when one of the housemates was still working a night shift. Hi, Metal Wolf, welcome to D. Where housemate was working night shift, he woke up with nothing but like boxer short man pants on, and he was like just tumbling down the stairs, and then he ran outside in his shorts, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, there's a fire. I was just dead calm looking for the source of smoke, and I grabbed the fire extinguisher, and I was just walking around the house, and I was like, there's no visible fire, it's contained somewhere. And I followed the smoke to the basement, and I unplugged the dryer, opened all the doors and windows, and then the fire alarms like stopped blaring. And other housemate, she was like, oh my God, where was the fire? And I'm like, you guys, it's the dryer. The dryer is on fire. Yeah, he just parkoured straight out of the house. And I was like, girlies, don't worry. I told you the dryer's on fire. And they're like, that's not a thing that happens. And I'm like, well, do you clean the lint trap after you use the dryer? And they're like, well, only when it's full. What do you mean only when it's full? You are supposed to clean it every time. Yeah, so I had them come down to look at the machine. I opened it up and I showed them all the lint inside that was charred and burnt. Oh God! What did I just click? Excuse me? OBS? Hello? So, yeah. There was several times when there were tornadoes and the housemates were panicking when the alarm went off, and I said, okay, there's actually a tornado here. I need you guys, and this was all very calm, to grab my go bag, and we're gonna go to the basement. And they're like, where's the bag? Where's the bag? Where'd you put it? What do we need? What are we doing? What do I need to do? And I'm like, I need you to take 5 breaths, and I need you to go into the closet of my room and grab the black bag, and we're just gonna go to the basement. Because the black bag has everything I need. And it's got my emergency water, emergency filters, emergency food. Tomatoes, Manzi. Out in Cornville, there's too many tomatoes. I've always been calm in an emergency. And the military was definitely a part of that. You were saving that lint for later. Do you know how hard it is to get good Sphinx lint? What? What the is Sphinx lint? I am not linty. Do I look like a creature that sheds into balls of fluff? No, thank you very much. Grabs a broom, it's time to fly. I'm not linty! I'm not linty. I wash and make sure I wash delicates on delicates and I unpill stuff. Why are you saying yes, Z? Z, I'm not covered in lint. What? You would like to hear a better understanding of the evolutionary path that led to panic stop thinking? Well, that's the adrenaline response in your brain. There's science behind it. Stop! No, don't encourage them! With how curly my hair is, I look like a critter that sheds in balls of fluff. No, I shed like the tiniest ball of fluff at a time. I do not have hairballs. I only have fur on tail and feet. Okay? Tail and feet, and the rest is hair. Okay, maybe my ears, but I don't have hairballs or lint. No. As a guy, you wash your clothes in the same load. That was me in the military.
Hi,
I washed them all in the same load. Hi, Gambo Champ. For maximum Sphinx lint, put D on a fast spin. No! Stop! I don't have lint. You cannot get lint from D. No, Z, not lint! You guys are lying. Yes, fight or flight. D is fight. I do not freeze. I think I've frozen once, but it was out of like heartbreak panic. Not much lint. Nor. If you wash the D with your hair, she becomes really fluffy. No! I become fluffy when... I'm gonna bite you. Nuh-uh. No lint. I'm not lint. Lint comes from the dryer, and that's what was setting it on fire. You were gonna ask about the lint. Yeah. So, it was the lint trap. So, the moral of that one is the military taught me not to do the big panic. Fight, flight, or freeze or fawn are the responses to surprising stimuli in the brain, and it's how your body manages like adrenaline. And mine is instant calm and action. My belly button does not have lint in it. No, I'm clean. I washed myself very well. Thank you. Why, Z? Do not pass gas. I am not composed of lint and gas. You're gonna wait until winter when your winter coat grows in. You're gonna harvest my winter coat. Do not harvest my coats. I need them or I will be cold. You are fuzzier than I am. Have you seen you? Look at you. Look. You're fuzzier than I am. You probably have more lint. How much lint do you have? Huh? When's the last time you checked how much lint you have, huh? Where's your lint, huh? You're covered in it. Look at him. That's the face of a little guy who's made of lint. You'll probably begin to shed all over me. Stop shedding on me. Rude. No brains, only lint. This you right now. Look, bam. This guy, no brains, only lint. You know I'm talking about you now. Lint trap D, that's only if I decide to make music, trap beats about lint. I'll write you a lint trap beat. It's mostly you, no brain, all lint. Okay, new cutie lore. It's all lint, no brains. You can make a really nice quilt with my feathers. Those I shed regularly, so you can have the ones that fall out. Yes. You've been called weird for calmly pointing out fires. You're not weird. It's just most people are used to people screaming and going, "Ah! Fire! Fire! Oh, it's a fire!" And then everyone goes, "Oh, fire! Oh, where? Because they want to get away from it. Most people don't go, "Ooh, look a fire," but I go, "Ooh, look a fire." Story time! Military story time. The day we got off the plane in when we were deployed to our first active combat zone, I had my last civilian brain moment. So, have you guys ever been to a fireworks show? I used to love fireworks. I'm not so good with fireworks anymore. And the group I'm going with next week is doing fireworks training as part of our Spartan race training thing. Because the place we're doing this at with a bunch of other vets is gonna have fireworks. So we're gonna go and do some desensitization training. It's gonna be great. So fireworks shows, normally when you're at them, you see the big, blossoming, flaming things in the sky. You go, ooh, pretty fireworks. Well, I want you to imagine D, fresh into a deployment zone. We've come off the plane, and we're wandering around at night. We're wandering around at night because it's our first night there, and we were gathering some gear, and I was heading back to my barracks with the rest of the homies, and all I hear are sirens blazing from all directions at all points in time. It's just sirens blazing, and then boom, pow, 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 flaming across the sky. And I look up like a big old stupid, and I see red lights streaking across the sky, not understanding that that is a C-ram, and I go like a stupid civilian. I go, ooh. staring at the pretty bright red lights. And a staff sergeant just comes barreling towards me, tackles me to the ground, and they're like, "Get down! What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh." They're like, "First time in deployment?" I'm like, "Yes, Staff Sergeant." They're like, "Welcome to downrange, soldier." We were literally getting mortared the day one when I was on base, and I was all, "Oh, wow, look at the pretty fireworks." No, that was not so. Yeah. CRAMs do look pretty. It's just like fireworks, which will throw your civilian brain cells for a loop, because you'll look up into the sky and you'll go, "Wow, ooh, pretty red lights," and then boom, and you'll go, "Whoa, that was a lot louder than a firework, huh?" They shoot stars at you instead of into the sky. You've got it, random squirrel. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that happens. The first time you see live fire, there's a part of your brain trained to fireworks that will go, "Ooh, pretty." And then if you come back from deployment, if you see this a lot, the first time you see fireworks again, you're gonna go, "Oh, we're getting mortared." And you will have a small panic. And that's when people will look at you like, "Why are you freaking out about fireworks?" And then I had to explain to people, "Hi, I'm a active duty veteran." And they're like, "Oh, so you're gonna ruin our holiday for us now? You're not gonna let me have fireworks now?" And I'm like, "It reminds me of my friends getting blown up. I'm not trying to take your holiday, but I've got trauma." It's so weird to come back from war and have people poo-poo you for having a traumatic response to fireworks. You guys, I cannot. It's like, how about you do a war? Do a war just once. Do one war. Have a little tiny war, and then you tell me if you like the explosions. Then there are firecrackers. Honestly, firecrackers don't bother me. Like the Pumas don't bother me because they don't actually sound like gunfire. But when I see the red streaking lights of certain like fountains or big fireworks, that one really sticks in the brain, and it now triggers a primal response of we're being shot at, and it's like everything in me bubbles up prepared to fight again. Do I have a special parking space? No, I do not have a special parking space. I am not physically disabled enough to get special parking. What more do I want? What I'd love to have, duamorthrax. So duamorthrax, what I would love is I would actually love for people to forego fireworks shows and for us to do drone shows instead. I went to China and I saw some really sick drone shows. They were so cool, and they were way more elaborate than anything I've ever seen done with fireworks. Plus, there was like zero cleanup. It was awesome. It was just drones and lights, and they made it look like dragons were flying in the sky. It was so cool. Drone shows are the wave of the future. I would love to see more drone shows. New Year's in Germany? Okay, Nicro, what happened to New Year's in Germany? So, with fireworks, I am okay with like fountains and sparklers and things like that. Those don't trigger me. But the big red streaking into the sky followed by big heavy boom is like, oh, that's artillery fire. It feels like it. It's one of the only firework types that feels like it. Otherwise, the booms and pops that you hear from the movies and explosions, that's not what a live fire sounds like. It's very different. New Year's in Germany is basically a war zone with fireworks. The smoke lasted an entire day? Really? Oh my god. Oh my god. Has anybody got a fan? I'm sorry. That would be horrible. Probably a lot of fun. I used to have so much fun with fireworks. It's just now the association is like, yeah, war. So if not going the way of drone shows so we're not littering as much in our environment, I would love for it to be something common for them to do for military folk coming out of service to put us through fireworks desensitization. They're like, hey, you were in an active duty environment. You're going to come and do a desensitization course where we slowly expose you to fireworks again on home ground, and you know that they're not dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, I usually have to isolate during the 4th of July. It's one of the reasons I'm getting my diving certs now. One of my besties, BB, she was like, hey, you should come and watch fireworks with us. I'm like, how is that different than watching fireworks anywhere else? She's like, well, we go diving and we watch them underwater. She's like, you can see it, but you don't really hear it. And the environment is completely different. We also know that the trajectory of projectiles changes when they are met with water. So if anyone were to shoot at you and they're near a body of water, dive in because you're less likely to get lethally shot underwater. Yeah. Open water is where it's at. So I'm looking forward to diving. Would I ever play airsoft? I have played airsoft maybe once or twice. I'm still not at the point where I think I can do it for fun because I still get the cold, clammy hand sweat that tells me my body is still ready for war. And I don't want to be in that place if I'm playing a game. I do go to the range though to keep up my basic rifle marksmanship because BRM is very zen. It puts you in a place where you're in touch with your body and your breathing in a way that meditation never worked for me. Meditation and sitting still made me feel anxious in my body, and movement, which I'm now learning is somatic movement, is a lot better for people who have been in such high stress scenarios. Yeah. Then there are firecrackers. There are certain firecrackers that are pretty triggering. So I say like the fountains, the ones that spew pretty colors and they go like that. Those are okay. But things that scream, some of those hit just the right frequency that it startles people enough that it's scary. But I never heard screaming missiles. I have heard the blast of an RPG. That's actually how I got blown out of the helicopter and injured myself. And I have heard live fire and grenades and artillery fire and mortars. Mythbusters? Oh man, I loved Mythbusters! Mythbusters showed how 3 feet of water will save you from all projectiles. It will save you from everything except a grenade. Grenades release shock and explosive blasts outside the radius of impact, and that is lethal underwater. If you are jumping into a body of water to save yourself from live fire, good. Like bows and arrows, good. Bullets, good. Launched things, probably good. Exploding things, no. Jumping into a body of water will actually make it worse because the water will carry the shock waves to your body, and even though it won't cut the skin, you will get internal injuries. I think there might be a documentary on this too. So, bullets, dive into water. Big boom shakalakas, duck. Dive. Get low to the ground. In Saudi, it was during a crisis in the 90s, and one of Saddam's Scud missiles flew over the Air Force compound as you got off a school bus. Oh my goodness. Seeing that in... Oh, holy crap. Seeing that in like a populated area would have been very dystopian. I am glad that you are okay. But that must have been so scary for you, Brushy. Oh yeah, cover your ears. Grenade fishing is effective for a reason, because the shockwave kills the fish. Have you guys ever played Breath of the Wild? Have you played Breath of the Wild? Have you used the most effective fishing method known to Breath of the Wild with the best of all the types of bombs, the round bomb, which is superior to the square bomb in every way? You use round bomb, throw at fish, boom shakalaka, get all fish. Or shock arrows, but boom shakalaka regens. Shock arrows do not. Bass and hardy mushrooms are all you ever ate. Yeah! You never thought about grenade fishing in Breath of the Wild? I'm glad to have gifted you the knowledge of boom shakalaka in Breath of the Wild. Isn't bomb fishing illegal in Hyrule? I didn't see no sign. I didn't see no sign. King of Hyrule didn't tell me not to do it, so I'm gonna bomb fish in Hyrule. I miss the infinite bombs and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, me too. This is why I go back to playing Breath of the Wild, because Tears of the Kingdom made me sad with the story, and then the game mechanics felt like Minecraft on creative, which I don't like to play. It took away the challenge after a point in time, and things were too easy. Hi, Sakura Rose! Welcome to D! Yeah, I'm telling my military stories today. It sounds illegal. Nobody's told me it was illegal yet. I didn't see a regulation for no bomb fishing in Hyrule. It must be fine. Oh yeah, the final boss battle? You mean Suavemente Ganon, which is still living rent-free in my head to this day? Yes. It's only illegal around the Zora. But they live on land surrounded by water. That always felt weird. They didn't live underwater. They were like, they needed to breathe. Zora Village, from a biological standpoint, makes me wonder at the makeup of these creatures. Do they have gills? Do they not have gills? Do they like a whale? Do they have to come up for air? And they can just hold their breath really long times? I got so many questions. Tears of the Kingdom made you stop trying to hike. It made you stop trying to hike? Find a good road to places when you could just make a fan hover bike and go everywhere. Oh, in the game, I'm like, I love hiking. I'm sorry, it killed that. Okay, good. It didn't make you hate hiking, but yeah, you just hover bike and go anywhere. You just parkour in a direction. You pick direction, go. That's what you do. Tears of the Kingdom made it less likely that I would enjoy the world around me, and I spent a lot of time in the air. Yeah, I would still play again, maybe once, because it did have a uniqueness about it, but it felt like the merge mechanics made it too cheaty after a while, and it took away the struggle. A degree of struggle makes getting to the end worth it. Tears of the Kingdom's in the ultimate ADHD test? What does it mean if you were not a huge fan of Tears of the Kingdom? Does that mean I passed the test? Or that I have ADHD? Suavemente. You want to... Yeah, Suavemente. I freaking love Suavemente Ganon. Oisus, you wanted to know what was the most unique weapon, or my favorite one, that I can tell you about? I mean, my rifle was a pretty awesome weapon. I had my trusty firearm. I named it Bosco. I feel like we name the things that bring us joy and comfort, and I named my weapon Bosco. So now you know. Oh, I also just noticed a lot of the redeems are paused. Mod check, mod check, mod check. Would you be so kind as to unpause our redeems? I was wondering why it was dead. There are some of those you can return those to people, like howdy, head pat, bonk, wisdom, D-sings. Like, those aren't gonna be intrusive. You can give them back redeems, mods. Yes, you can push button. I would like you to be able to push button, yes. Boop. Thank you for the boop. I appreciate it. Well, thank you. I will hydrate. Bosco, like the bear from the Avatar. I didn't know that the bear's name was Bosco. We set them free! Hey! You can't see my bald head today. My bald head is protected by armor. This is why you always wear your gear, wear your ACH. I got bonk protections. Ah, yes, that's the chaos that I missed. What? I couldn't read that. What did he say? What did you just say? What? What? I missed that. Say it again. I dare you.
Yes.
Some were never paused and some were left over from yesterday. Yep. So prior to stream, if you guys can check and make sure that all redeems that were paused are unpaused, or do that as end stream wind down stuff. Yep. If you pause it, unpause it later. I cook my stone soup in hat bucket. I could cook stone soup in hat bucket. Oh, you can't hear those sounds. Hang on. I just realized you haven't been able to hear any of this. You couldn't hear nothing! I needed to fix things! Now you can hear stuff! I didn't hear you! I'm not pretending! Shut up, bestie! We got sad-catted. Hi to those of you joining D! Today is demilitarization, where I tell you all about D's experience with the military. We were sharing stories of basic training. I was telling you about the fears of fireworks and how I'd love to do drone shows. Cool stories about how I got rib fractures and broke some girl's nose. What else was it? Let's see. I have to think on this one. Beautiful wisdom was requested. Gumpy wants to know, what was it like being
So
a
I
professional?
take it that you were familiarized with equipment like the M416 law and the M777.
Hang on 1 second and I will answer that. Being a professional pigeon translator for the army, Gumpy, that was not my job! That is my wisdom. I did work with multiple languages, and I did a boots on ground mission and an airborne mission. It was a joint task force mission. So, that I was familiarized with the equipment, yes. We have multiple different types of weaponry that we were trained in, especially in basic, and then also in when you are preparing for deployment. So not a lot of people use like the howitzer. So the M777 is a towed artillery, and we didn't do a lot of open field warfare that it's normally used for. We have different weapons for that. Yeah, like there was some use, but not by our force, because we weren't like trying to mow down a city or large forces coming at us. Like it. So I know how to use the howitzer, but I did not have to fire it during my military career, I think is a good way to put that. And then you wanted to hang on, let me look back this. You wanted to know about the rocket launcher, the M72s. So the Law is an anti-tank weapon. I should show you guys pictures of these. We did use those. So the M72s, they are light anti-armor weaponry, and they're portable, and they have like a single shot. You put it on your shoulder, do a backblast area clear. We used like the M72s. They're kind of outdated, because this was like a weapon from the 60s, but it is very similar to what we used downrange. I don't know how much more I can say about this. This one's towing the territory of what weapons can I actually tell you about for downrange and what's not. But then the M416 M416 is a that's like a PUBG weapon, isn't? We used the M16. The 416 is a battlegrounds weapon. So I used an M16 and not an M416. Because one of those is a video game weapon, and one of those is for active duty personnel. What's my MOS? I can't tell you that. I would have to end you. No. I could tell you my MOS, but understand, I only got to do my MOS for the first half of my military career, and then I was cross-trained to 2 other positions. So I can tell you I was supposed to be primarily intelligence, and I was not. One of the oddest disparities that occurred in my military career was being trained in intelligence and then needing to do a boots on ground mission. So I was trained to do lots of brain things and use lots of cool equipment. Whoa, what was that? I just heard something slam. And then when I got to my first active duty station, they said, "Oh, I see your MOS is XYZ. Well, sorry, but it sucks to be you. We don't have a mission for that anymore, so you're gonna go and get trained for an airborne mission." And I was like, what? They were like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't have that mission anymore, but they keep sending us soldiers." The military wastes a lot of money sending soldiers who are trained for one job to a unit that doesn't need them, and then training them for a whole nother job. Like, there's a lot of wasted money in poorly routed logistics within the military. And they could save so much money and get us better tools and maybe pay people more if they didn't waste money sending people to be trained and then putting them in units that don't need them. It's wild. What is declassified and what is still military secret? Gray line sometimes, huh? Okay, declassified means that it is a story, a weapon, a military happening or military related anything that has now been released to the public from its classification. And classified is the opposite. It means revealing information about it.
Please keep in mind that Special Operations Forces soldiers are under non-disclosure agreements for a set period of time until the expiration date.
And sometimes after that. So yes, Special Operations Forces are under NDAs or non-disclosure agreements for a set period of time until the expiration date, usually of the mission's classification. You can't talk about it, or until something is put into public record. And there are certain missions where there are things that happened, weapons used, tactics discussed, or events that occurred that remain classified even after your service. And this stuff is only, like, this information is only shared amongst service members who have a clearance. If it is ever found out that you shared this information without, like, due cause or without proper channels, that information can get you in a lot of trouble and you will lose your clearance. Yes. Isn't Wars Day done with drone pilots? It depends on the war front. I know that drones are being used in a couple of different areas, but my military experience did not have a lot of drone warfare. You can tell us you'll keep secrets. That is a dang dirty lie, and you know it. Red tape, bureaucracy, and miscommunication seems to be more of a feature than a bug. I wish that was not the case. So very much so, I wish that was not the case. I wish, and I did see the D-Sings Kirkland from a bit ago. Let me just catch up with folks. I did see, like, I feel like if I could choose any job to do the most good, one, it would be to jump into being leadership for military logistics and giving them a step-by-step plan, day by day, for 3 months on how to restructure, reorganize, and reconfigure all of their systems to just make things work better and more efficiently. Because there are a lot of processes that they feel they need that are just causing more of a delay than actual benefit in the system. The system is down. We must fix it. I could fix it. But there's a lot of things I could do. One of my housemates actually hated me for this. I was helping them build a bed for their kid one day. And their argument to me was, look, I know that if we did it your way, it would be better, okay? I know that if we did it your way, it would be more efficient, but sometimes I just want to do it my way. And I'm like, you have 3 hours until your kid needs a bed to sleep in, bro. But housemates, this is one of the reasons why I left. So, where was I going with that? Efficiency. I feel like I'm very good at it, and I could help the military with that quite a bit. Hang on. Hang on. I can't find it. Okay, now I found it. Okay. It has been redeemed. D sings the karaoke redeem where D butchers your favorite songs live for your entertainment by request. They will now serenade you. Angels. And let me know if the volume is bad. Oh, hold on. Let me get water before I start this. Hydrate. By request, D sings the karaoke redeem where D butchers your favorite songs live for your entertainment. I'm gonna have to adjust this little noise guy. Little noise guy. Let me see. Why is it cutting me off? Why you cutting me off? Let me see if I can adjust it. It's just very strong right now. Okay. They said turn this up. Hang on. If I turn this up to right here. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go loud. Nope. Nope. I don't know how to adjust any of these. I'm gonna need to read a... What's it called? Okay. I'm just gonna have to turn it off when I sing, because I think it will suppress all of my high notes otherwise. My upper registers cut out. Are they cutting off right now? You're welcome, Kirkland! Thank you for the request! I'm too powerful for the machines to suppress me. They don't know how anymore. They sure gonna keep trying. Help! I was being suppressed! Okay, where are we at? Right now, no? Yeah, speaking I'm okay, but singing I will have to turn off my denoiser. So I'm gonna add that into my buttons when I'm singing. My karaoke mic, I am going to have it turn off suppression, and I am going to have it turn off. This one is called my denoiser, and this will be disable. And then when I turn this filter off, this will be turn on the suppression. So let me make sure this works. Toggling it off and toggling it on. Okay, perfect. That's what we want. I'll do the same thing to my other filter. Let me adjust right here. This one. Turn off suppression. Enable. Try it here. And then off will turn on suppression. Enable. Okay, so let's try this one. Oh, the first part of this one did not work. Turn off. Disable. Wow, 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 wow. Perfect. Okay, fixed it. Yippee. This is why it's very good to continue mumbling and bumbling your way through learning how to set up your tools, even if it's hard. Because then you could be like D and you can troubleshoot this stuff on the fly and be able to fix stuff. Yeah. A pre-echo? Yeah. This is my ballroom filter. The unlimited cosmic power of the ballroom. But my favorite filter out of all of them right now
is probably the radio voice announcer. Yes, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we can talk like a radio host announcer if I wanted to decide and tell you about a brand new commercial thing that you could buy. We could insert it right here, like D's Nuts. If you put these nuts in your mouth, you'll never want another nut again. Yes, that's right. These nuts are a tasty treat for the whole family to enjoy. They're salty and sweet in the perfect combination of each. The best of the best. The best nuts better than the rest. Once you've tried these nuts, you'll be ruined for any other nut. You will never want another nut in your mouth again.
Can you rant for a second? Yes. Go ahead. It sounds like under the water radio announcer. It's as good as we could get it. And that's that. We're going to work with what we got. You can hear my toggle when it goes bloop. Yep. I have to stop talking like a moment before I turn them on. Otherwise, you get extra echo. You get extra echo. The power of filters. Let's see, do I have any other stories for you today? I really wanted to talk about the military story, my rib fractures, breaking some girl's nose. Throwing a grenade was a really cool experience. We learned about stupid boys doing stupid things. Aw, thank you, DC Sensei. Thank you very much. We learned about stupid boys doing stupid things when we did grenade training. But more than anything, it was like, wow, I just threw a grenade. I think that was the first moment of my military series, like my military employment, where I thought to myself, holy cow, I never would have done stuff like this as a civilian. I feel pretty cool right now. That was where it started, throwing a grenade. And understand, up until that point when we did get to throw grenades, I was like already shooting heavy artillery weapons, learning how to drive an LTV, and I learned how strong I was to the point where I could lift the biggest man in my squad, throw him over my shoulder, and wander around with him. When I came home on a break from the military, I went up to my friend's, it was one of his buddies, I think it's Kyle, I don't remember his name, but one of his friends, he was really, really big, rotund gentleman, could have been a linebacker, and I was like, how much do you weigh? And he's like 320. Why, shorty? And I was like, just because you are like 8 feet tall, shut up, but also, can I pick you up? And he was like, can you what? And so I fireman carried him over my shoulders around the house, and they were like, whoa, look at Digo. It was great. I was like, I can squat you. I can princess carry you, baby girl. Don't have to be normal if it's not normal. What does that even mean? What is normal? I'm definitely not whatever that is. Oh, to be carried, I will carry you. I'm now back in weight training. I'm now back in the fitness. That's why we're challenging ourselves to a Spartan race to see what areas are my weakness. That's how I'm choosing to tackle the Spartan race. And I'm going to get back into it. We're going to lift heavy because the goal is strong. I want to be strong and flexible and capable enough of doing all the things that bring me joy. And that includes running around like a silly bean, picking up everyone as though they were a puppy and making them feel like a pretty princess, and crushing many a pumpkin because it would be harder than a watermelon between my thighs. Those are my goals. How long am I waiting? Weight training? Not that kind of weight! Like heavy lift weight training. Pick him up and his scooter? What scooter? He didn't have a scooter. You see me? You're shaking my hand? Agreed? It should have been me. I will pick you up when the world is not such a scary place to travel in. I hope to see you all at a convention, IRL, and then I can pick you up and princess carry you and crush you in a big hug. There's the goal. Yeah, I am real lethal. You better watch out. Tactical D will get ya. Here, wait, can I crouch like this? It would look really funny. Tactical D will get ya. I only have the upper half on because pants are difficult to emulate on the VTuber model. But one day, perhaps, in 3 dimensions. There you go. Some other fun things from the military. Cadence. I feel like I have never run so long, nor have I run with as much gusto as when I am either doing so to cadence or with cadence in my headphones. Sometimes when I want a really long run day, I will actually put on like a YouTube channel playlist where they're doing cadence because it reminds you to breathe, which if you're not breathing, you will slow down. Imagine that. If you're not breathing, can't run. Wow. What a concept. Hi, Blade Shadow. Welcome to D. I find it works really well for me. Flashbacks? What do you mean flashbacks, oh Mandine? Do you not like running in cadence? I love running in cadence. It's a vibe. My peer support specialist was telling me about how she also works out to cadence, and I'm like, oh my god, I thought it was just me. Am I weird for that? Does this make us military wannabes? And she's like, D, you're a veteran. You're not a wannabe. You were in it. And I was like, oh, you're right. I forgot. Is that mental disparity between I did the thing, I was the thing, but now I am no longer the thing. What did it even mean? Some of the ones you guys did were spicy. Yes, because it takes your mind off of the pain and puts it into the horny. I never got that. Like, it didn't affect me. I liked the ones with rhythm and with a melody. Like, Heidi, 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 hey. Or, I left my home to join the army. Or, oh man, we had a bunch that were making fun of platoons. I can't give those away though. Way Up North, that was a horrible one. That was about unaliving baby seals. It was horrible. Might have to try running with cadence. Yeah, do your left, 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 right, left. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Do it. It's great. Hang on. Do I have saved the playlist? I might. Let me check my history on my YouTubes. Go to me. My history. I bet you I can find it. Hang on. Yeah, there's this guy, Jonathan Michael Fleming. I don't know if he's actually... I don't know if he is actually prior military, but he's really good at cadence. Like, hold up. So this is Jonathan Michael Fleming. He is registered as a musician, but he did like the I left.
Your daddy was home when you left. Your mama was home when you left.
That's where this audio comes from.
You left. Your brother was home when you left.
The
dog was home when you left. The cat was home when you left. The fish was home when you left. Your daddy, your mama, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left. And that's the reason you left.
Right.
I left my home.
I left my home
The army.
to join the army. Can I share the link to his playlist in Discord? Here, I'll send you the link in Discord to the one that we were just looking at, and you can find the rest of his stuff there. My playlist is a private playlist on YouTube, and it would dox my other account. So let me toss this in the Discord. In the discussion is where I'll put it. Here we go. Discussed. There. That's Jonathan Michael Fleming. But he does cadence. You can go and look at cadence and be like, wow, look at all that cadence. That's some nice cadence. There. No doxing. But I will share his video. There. It's shared. It's in Discord now. I survived knowing how to walk and how not to walk. Yes. As a female in the military, there are lots of interesting issues that come up that you wouldn't think would be a problem, and walking is actually one of them. So in the military, when you are walking in cadence with a unit, you have to move your legs a very specific way. And as a female, we have to stretch our hips in a certain way to keep up with the strides of a unit. And it's not just because you have short legs. It has everything to do with how your hips are shaped. And if you have nice wide hips, it makes it difficult to walk like a soldier. And lots of girlies would sprain or sometimes even break a hip because the muscles would get so tight in all the wrong areas, it would crack bone. Yeah, so that was something I didn't know would happen when I joined the military, was to be like, oh wow, my hips and my lower back really hurt. And it's because you're walking in a way that's unnatural for the female body. This is why they now have more units that are doing all female units that walk in formation. We walk slightly different. It's a little bit more relaxed to allow a tiny hip swish, the tiniest of hip swishes. Otherwise, you break a hip. The muscles literally get so tight that they will crack bone. It's insane. Now you know. But I liked learning the limits of myself and how it was easier to surpass them than I ever thought possible. If I have learned anything by going through all of that pain and suffering, it's that the word can't should not exist in my vocabulary. That it should always be not yet. If only because I have not yet reached my limit. I have been incapacitated. I have been exploded out of a helicopter. I have been in harrowing situations. I have survived. And while I may not feel like I am thriving, I am not down yet. Yeah. The hips must either swish or break. It's true! It really is. Like, we don't talk about the physical anatomy of, like, legs often, and we should. Because, holy crap, you would be in so much pain if you were a woman trying to keep up with a man's stride step, and they tell you, stop swishing your hips. And you're like, I can't. It literally will break a hip if I don't. I have so many hips. No, I have one hip on either side. Hip and hip. And I have 2 legs for it. That's how you teach guys at your job. It's not that you can't do it. You just haven't learned to do it properly yet. Tell them you are not comfortable doing it on your own yet. Yeah. Because you can do anything. You just have to take the time to learn the skill. And you're going to learn it at a different pace. Mastery comes to us all in phases. Just like basic rifle marksmanship. You can have a weapon that shoots real well and that you shoot really well with, that one day, out of the blue, just feels like it doesn't shoot the same. Small things in your environment are always changing, and learning that you are a powerful force of adaptation will see you through many adversities. Like, that's how it's been for D. I now know that I can adapt to anything. But I find myself in a position where now I can finally take care of D. And I think the scariest part, post-military, post-scariness with the evil housemates, and finally being safe, is recognizing that I am safe. It's okay to take care of me and to do stuff for me. And it's like, what do I want? Has anyone else ever felt that? Where you ask yourself and you recognize, I don't actually know what I want. I've wanted things for the greater good. I've wanted things for people before, but I haven't wanted for myself. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever broken out of that way to the point where you could actually, like, seek out stuff for yourself eventually and been like, oh, I think I actually want this, and that's gonna be my goal? Yeah? You've done the same? As a parent, that happens? Oh my gosh. How do you recover from being the kind of selfless servant to others, and then you do stuff for yourself without, burning down a kitchen? You've been doing that a lot the past few years? What kind of steps are you making towards it? Because that's not something they teach you in the military. I was taught selfless service. I was taught leadership. I was taught to be a badass. But I wasn't taught to just think of myself. I've always thought of other people. How do you do it? For you, the kids get older and your interests align more often? So you get to do fun games with the kiddos, Father Malakis? Avius, you felt that many times too? What have you done for it? How do you get out of that place? How do you start doing stuff just for you? I'd love to know your secrets. Because while I can share the lessons I've learned, this is a lesson I'm still learning, and I'd actually love help on it. I'd love to see what I can learn from you. You've been slowly making small purchases for yourself. Useless stuff? Oh my god, how do you get over the it's not useless if it brings me joy? For people who have never experienced this, I struggled to allow myself to buy a couch because I was like, I don't need a couch. I have a chair and a bed and a countertop. I don't need more than that. And I was like, no, you're gonna get a couch so that when you have friends, you can have them over. When you have local friends, you can have them over and have game nights. That was so hard. That was the weirdest hard decision I made moving into my own place. Couch is not useless. Yes, I took a nap on it. Hi. To christen the couch as not being useless. Hi, Velnava, welcome to D. And I was like, this is not useless. It is a tool for the best naps in a sunbeam. You think it's a slow, steady process. Focus on giving yourself permission. What's something that you gave yourself permission to do when you got into a place where you could? I know there's fellow survivors out here. You lived in the desert. The chair was just a hole that you sat in. Yeah, as long as you can dangle your feet into it. You settled for a good meal and a sleep. That's not settling. Good quality sleep should never be underestimated. It can make or break your entire day, month, week, or year to get good or bad sleep. And to get great food, that's something I started on, buying myself with your help, actually, cuties, who decided to touch my throne. Don't do it. But thank you. You allowed me to get my first, like, little set. I've got a pot, I've got a pan, and I've got the rainbow utensils that I can actually cook with, and I've been sharing that stuff in the subscriber Discord, because it feels really nice to make stuff for me without fear of judgment. I put some of my candied orange peels in my coffee today to give it a citrus flavor, along with my citrus syrup, which I still have. You have gamer stuffs, and then you get yourself some food boxes from the convenience store. There was a clip of Stephen Fry about what counts as gratuitous, stating that even couch cushions count as gratuitous. So it's all ridiculous and should be ignored. And I just need to learn to eat the food. I ate food today before stream. I made some eggs and vegetables. I put some cheese on it, and I have my coffee. Papa Mutt has streams where he invites vets to swap war stories. Oh my god, I would love to! Wait, I didn't know Papa was a veteran. What service was he in? Heck yeah! For eating the good things and treating yourself! He was also Army? Oh my god, that's wonderful. We can share monkey brain stories. Oh, he was Navy? Oh my god. Army versus Navy all over again. One of my old housemates was prior Navy, but I found it funny that when we went out in public, they were like, oh my god, y'all are veterans? And people would always thank him for his service and ignore me, which I didn't care enough about it, but he would always correct them and be like, no, you don't understand. I didn't finish basic. She was deployed. But they'd still like look at me and be like, nah, that thing didn't go into the military. And then they'd thank him again. It's so awkward. So then he's like, when you introduce yourself as a veteran, homie, we're gonna not say that I was in the military. And I'm like, it's okay. I don't look like I was in the military. And that was on purpose. Part of my job was to ensure I did not look like a soldier. They bully Civvy for being chair force. I have a lot of happy, warm, fuzzy feelings for my phenomenal airmen and women. And yes, we still give them a lot of crap. If I could tell you the best and worst part of each of the forces, though, we do give each other a lot of crap for it. Folks in the Navy, y'all drink way too much. You drink so much. Our friggin', we had what was she, a chief petty officer? No, she was higher than that. She was an actual warrant. And she wouldn't stop talking about the private deck they had where they all had booze on every single craft. And I was like, stop drinking half of the mission away. And she's like, I need it to get rid of the voices. However, I have never seen someone with such calm military accuracy when it comes to playing with big toys, okay? In the Navy pilots made the most sound and lethal decisions that ended week-long spats versus the actual Air Force when it came to our Navy fighter pilots and any of our Navy vessel specialists. I can't name what they were on. So I'm like, good and bad. They drink so much. And they'd be like, y'all want to go to the pub? And they were hanging out with the Brits the whole deployment. And I was so jealous. And they were like, oh, you got your O'Doul's, though. We were like, shut up. Like your O'Doul's, your little alcohol-free booze. Shut up. Navy, shut up. But then we got their fighter pilots are world class. They're really, really good at what they do. The bunch of silly goobers like Chief Jellybean, who had his pack of juicy pear jelly beans at the flight desk right before everyone. He's like, I need a hit of the good stuff there, Jim. I need a hit of the good stuff. And he'd like grab a jelly bean. He's like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Friggin', you were Navy aviation? Okay, you get it. You get it. Y'all are world class at what you do. And most of the time, from my experience, we're better at it than the Air Force. However, let's go to the Air Force for a moment. The Air Force, those ladies and gentlemen, airmen and women, are some of, if not the most technically proficient individuals I ever had the privilege of working with. They were. When it came to, they were assigned a job, they are the best people for that job. There is not a single airman or woman promoted past the first 4 ranks that I ever interacted with that wasn't really friggin' good at their job. And this is in part because in the Air Force, so I learned through the tech sergeants, you have to, apparently, pass a test quarterly, annually, to keep your job, keep doing your job, and not get reclassed. They're always being examined for proficiency. They were really, really good at their job. But when it was outside of their job, they were absolutely hopeless. There were things that I found, basic tasks that I'm like, how do you not know how to do this? And they were like, I fly, plane, kill, bad guy. How do this box lift shovel thing? And oh my God. I love my airmen and women so very much, but there were some very simple things that they just could not do. We had to teach them how to unfold a travel shovel. How to unfold a travel shovel. One of them hooked up the propane to the propane camp stove incorrectly and exploded the camp stove. And they cannot be trusted with firearms. So, they're very good at doing their jobs. But when it comes to certain equipment that they have not been trained on thoroughly, they are useless. They are, how did you that up? It only goes one way. No, I had them break one of my travel spades and I'm like, I only have 2. You don't get to touch the other one. Stop, you're done. And then they're also really good at gaming. There was an Air Force crew that had like a professional gaming league while we were deployed. And they got redeployed home twice to leave deployment to go to a professional game. It was wild. And I was like, how are you guys so good at your jobs? So impeccably good at your jobs? Whoa. What's happening? Huh? Eh? Where's that coming from? Is that coming from me? Hello? What button did I push? Oh no, that was a sound alert. I don't know what that was! Help! Isekai anime intro. Okay, so, how are they so good at their job, but they don't know how to work shovel? How are you a professional gamer, but when I tell you dig hole, you cry? And then, speaking of people who are really good at that stuff, let's talk about my amazing Marine counterparts and the Special Forces units. Oh god, the Sodif guys are a whole nother breed. They're like, we don't have a tool for this. Let me get 3 rocks, a couple of paper clips, and then some explosives, and I'm just gonna make something for you. Oh my god. The Marines were very good at, do you want me to kill this guy? And we'd be like, no, Steven, it's okay. But you know, if you want me to kill that, no, put him down. And he'd be like, I could do it from a distance. Stop! They were very, very good at unaliving people and using really big weapons very well. Like, Army, they give us our special little weapons, and we're good with our special little weapons, but then we'd go to the Marines and be like, excuse me, Mr. Marines, excuse me, can you teach me how to use this big scary weapon, please? And they'd just be like, oh, easy, bad guy, look him through hole, hit button. And we'd be like, is there more to it? No. There was! Oh my god, what? What do I keep hitting? Stop! I'm sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry. We would be like, wait, but isn't there more like technical stuff and math that we need to do? And they'd be like, no math, just button. No math, just button. Oh my god. The Marines were very good at figuring out big, scary machines. But when it came to being the most technically and tactically proficient and absolutely decimating enemy forces, the Brits. 3,000%. Do not mess with the Brits. I have never seen people clear a building so cleanly. It was like art. They had me sing for them when I was deployed. Whoa, did my OBS just die? Okay, everything died for a moment. We're fine now. So they had me sing for them when I was deployed. So the Marines are very good at big, heavy weaponry. They're also very good at figuring out complicated weaponry and making it very simple. They're not so good at small things, big maths, or subtlety. I think that's the minus is subtlety is not their strong suit. Army is like very well rounded in I can play the monkey game with the Marines and I can go big explosion and pew pew bad guy, I'm gonna get him, ha ha hee hee hoo hoo, and I can go we can fly a plane with the Air Force, and we can high five with the Navy folks, and then we can puke off the side of their vessels, and then we can also do maths with the Air Force, but not as well. But then Army is like the ADHD force of all services, because you never know what that Army mother is gonna do. And I say this as one of those Army mothers, okay? They are one way or another, and it will change in 5 minutes, depending on if the battle is going the way that they want it to or not. And to top it all off, they'll get along with every force if they're not a jerk. We worked well with everybody. We could fit in everywhere. We're friggin' chameleons. Are you telling me that the Marines are the Army barbarians and the Air Force are Army rogues and the soldiers are the fighters? I feel like Air Force is more wizardry. They're very highly technically proficient. Very, very technically proficient. The Navy forces that we had the pleasure of working with, I will trust their pilots better than the Air Force, but not with math. I would want the Air Force to design the missile navigation system, and I would want the Navy to pilot it. The naval forces are very good at making relaxed wartime decision, but when it came to a panic, Army and Marines were always the most level-headed. Not the level-headed, but the most, and able to make boots on grounds decisions a little more effectively. Marines, very good with big pew pew, I'm just gonna muscle my way through it. They were also highly resourceful. And Army felt like being a Swiss Army knife. You can do a bit of everything, but you're still just a monkey playing in the sand. That's what it felt like, I say, as Army. But when it came to watching the beauty of battle, if you could call it that, watching the true majesty that is a highly trained team move, shoot, communicate, and clear a building, the Brits did it best. I would never want to fight them. We would lose. Because the most amazing and horrifying thing is 9 times out of 10, they were face drunk off of their while doing it the whole time. The whole time! It's like alcohol made them stronger, and I can't describe it any other way. We let them be drunk. The Brits were drunk, and they were still kicking so much while we were deployed, and it was artful. How do they do this? The secret technique was booze! Okay, I'm sorry, I need to calm down. And then after a mission, they'd be like, so do you want to go to the pub? And we'd be like, no, Jeremy, I don't want to go to the pub. Thank you very much. They were wonderful to work with. They were all phenomenal individuals, and they were all immaculate professionals. That's my take on the forces, as someone who is deployed with all of them in a joint unit. The power of alcoholism. Britt, give me some Hennessy in 5 minutes and this crowded mob will be able to go, yes, they could. It explains my streams. Yeah, thank you, Random Squirrel. I appreciate you. Think they like the blue crayons best? Oh, speaking of crayons, did you know that the wife of a Marine actually made edible crayons? They're chocolate. It's called the CRE, or Crayons Ready to Eat, and they are from Mill Treats. Let me grab you guys a link. Okay, hang on. The Crayons Ready to Eat. They are a Mill Treat product. I'm dropping the link in chat on the Twitch side, and let me drop it for YouTube if you guys want to check this out. This is a real thing, and these aren't just delicious chocolate crayons. You can draw with them if you really want to. They come in lots of delicious flavors. It's made from Belgian white chocolate, and you can color and write with them. And they have a triangular shape so they won't roll off the table. They're easier to hold and grip. She made them for her Marine husband. They are sold out right now. You have to get on the list because the moment they go on sale, they sell out immediately. I feel like someone needs to make another version of this and sell them because there's a market for this and they're always sold out. But you get Jarhead Red, Squid Blue, Dogface Green, Flyboy Yellow, Puddle Pirate Orange, and Space Cadet White. And they're made of cocoa butter, whole milk powder. They've got some soy lectin in there, a little bit of flavoring, and then unrefined cocoa butter. And they've got white dyes. They're all kosher dyes, Lakes dyes, FD&C blue dyes. And that's it. And sugar. It's just chocolate. It's amazing. Yeah, Puddle Pirate. Don't knock the Coasties, though. Coasties work real hard. We all make fun of each other in the military. It's not so much a my force is better than yours, but it is a I can do this thing. Why can't you? But every force has one of those. The Army failed miserably when it came to being technically proficient versus the Air Force. But when it came to unpacking a dang shovel, they were useless. Air Force, I mean. I love my airmen homies. but I will never give you my tools or tents to set up. I'm setting up the campsite. You go build me a fire if you still remember how to do it. Do the math and figure out the most efficient fire, but do not touching any of the stuff. I would also trust the Marines and Navy to make sure we were eating well. They had better DFACs and they were a little pickier about quality of food, which at first I found odd, but then I was like, no, wait, it makes total sense for the Marines to be picky about food. The big monkey must eat good food, enjoy tasty food, make me hit bad guy harder. Yeah. Yeah. How am I? Hi, Shadow Wolf, I'm doing good. Hi, No Scopers, I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. Work real hard at staying afloat. The coasties are terrifying to you? You grew up in the Puget Sound area and they're the only people crazy enough to sail into a storm? Yes. They are the storm chasers on the water. If you think it's crazy to watch tornado chasers like through the Midwest in the United of the States, try checking out friggin' coasties chasing hurricanes and stuff on the water. You're gonna die from things in the air and under your feet. It's wild. They're really good at what they do. Your grandpa was a Navy cook and taught you how to make coffee the Navy way? Oh my god. Okay, our sailors were so good at coffee. Okay. There was a gentleman, I'm like, how do I talk around this without revealing identities, who was not a warrant officer, but not lower enlisted in the Navy. He was the most posh coffee drinker while we were deployed. In his pack, he brought with him a very expensive small coffee machine and these teeny tiny wafer thin discs. To this day, I don't know what they were, but they made like espresso quality coffee every morning. He had such good coffee. Yeah, no coffee, no Navy function. And he could make this stuff with a percolator on a camp stove in the middle of the desert. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he brought like a thermometer and these beakers. I swear, folks in the Navy, the actual Navy, they, one, know their coffee, and two, they are all alchemists. I'm convinced y'all know alchemy, and it's really cool to watch it happen. Also, the coffee was the best I've ever had. So I traded him my dad's nuts for coffee. I need to explain that. I just realized half of you don't know that story. That's gonna sound really weird out of context. Let me explain. Hang on. Okay, so when we were deployed, my dad sent us nuts. My dad's sent us 5 huge boxes. They were like 3x3 boxes of mixed, slightly salted nuts. No, don't clip that! I'm explaining! They sent us nuts because someone poisoned our food and they were like, y'all need snacks. And they were really good nuts. And then people were like, oh my god, D, you have to send a letter to your dad and let him know we love his nuts. And then they like poke their heads out from everywhere. Yeah, D, your dad's nuts are delicious. Someone send him thanks. His nuts are so good. And then I'd be like, yeah, Dad, they love the nuts you sent. And I traded my dad's nuts to the naval flight officers for coffee. There we go. No, don't click that. The context doesn't help, but they were just canned nuts. They were just salted nuts. If a big corpo got involved, they would probably ruin it. Who are they ruining? Who supports the family? I'm so confused. What are you talking about, random squirrel? I want to respond, but I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean the Mill Treats? For the Mill Treats? They are a corporation, though. Mill Treats makes a bunch of cool stuff. And yes, they are supporting a family business, and they do charities for the veteran charities. If we got more people to make them, then you can make veteran treats. Please do it. You know, you didn't know that I was an active... No, I am now veteran. I'm no longer active service, and it is because of my last unit. I Okay, sad story-ish. Post-deployment, I came home to a unit run by a first sergeant that was a prior tanker. And all he wanted was for our unit to be super hardcore, and we were an intelligence unit. So he did double PT every day, and we had a mission in a skiff. When I redeployed home, my first sergeant refused to allow any new soldiers to be trained for that mission. So we were working a 12-hour mission with shifts. We would wake up, grab breakfast, throw our uniform on, immediately go to the skiff. We barely had time to make DFAC runs. We always had to have someone running a mission. And because he wouldn't train replacements, because he said it made us fat and lazy to work the skiff mission, there was a group of like 6 of us stuck working 12 to 18-hour shifts every day. We barely had time for PT. He made fun of us for running mission. Said we were fatties eating Cheetos in the skiff all day, sitting on our asses. And we didn't have a choice in that. It wasn't that we didn't want to do PT. It's when we petitioned for new soldiers so we could have backfill and not be working 18-hour missions, he refused because he said it made us lazy. The commander at the time didn't do anything about it because he didn't care. Commanders rotate out of units very quickly. And he's like, I don't want to deal with first sergeant. Your first sergeant is horrible, and I'm not going to be here very long. But the commander came and hung out with us on mission a few times. He was pretty cool. He was a good captain, but he's like, I can't fix this because I'm going to be rotating out soon enough. All you can do is grin and bear it until you get a new first sergeant. We tried reporting him a few times, but he's the reason I left. Bad command is why I left service instead of going green to gold, because I do have a college degree. And I had all of that while I was in the military. And I thought about finally going officer, because I didn't want to go officer until I knew what it was like to be in the shoes of the people that I was going to be leading into battle. Bad leadership is why I left the military and finally went home. And then I started the journey which led me all to you. Working in computers, making silly things in 3D, accidentally finding out about VTubing, and now we're here. 1,000 million years later. Guarantee you, he was eating his breakfast. Yeah, I bet he was. Bad leadership kills a lot of enthusiasm in many industries. So let this be a lesson to you all. No matter where you go in life, being a jerk and not caring about people will never, ever leave you in a lasting position with good, capable underlings. You will lose them all to your bad attitude. It pays to be a good person in the long run. But lots of people don't play the long game, and I hope you will. If for no one else other than yourself. You deserve to work in a good environment, do stuff that brings you joy, and it's worth fighting for. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I'm gonna stretch. What's the context? Well, you're gonna have to watch the VOD. Num-nums! I'm calling it here, you guys, only because I've been sitting for too long. I've got some adulting chores I need to get done today, and I have to go finish some errands for my trip next week. So, here's the scoop-de-whoop. I'm gonna be gone next week because I'm traveling for a Spartan race! After 5.5 years of injury recovery, post being thrown out of a helicopter, and the military telling me I would never run again, I have gotten not only cleared to start running, but weightlifting. I've started moving my body in ways I haven't in years. And I'm challenging myself to see where I'm at so that I know where I can go from here. I'm about to do one of the hardest things I've done in years because I want to prove it to myself. And then after here, the next goal is 5K training. 5K straight running so that I can get that t-shirt made finally with the big middle finger on it that says the VA told me that I would never run again. I'm gonna let you guys know because I'll do a charity run for that. My first ever 5K. I will dox myself for that. if I've got the guts. This has been Demilitarization. Stories by D. I know I hate to have come back for a week only to leave, but the cuties in the Discord let me know that they'd rather have some D rather than none. Hi, Firewolf! I will be gone for a week because Monday I'm meeting with my team and we're doing our prep for packing together. We're all staying at a hotel because I have to take a flight in the afternoon on Monday, and then the rest of the international flights out are going on Tuesday. I'm gone until the weekend, and then I fly back Sunday. So you will see D again on Wednesday, May 13th, because I'm going to give myself Monday, Tuesday to unwind and remove the jet lag from my system and go to a festival. There's a festival in the wilds that Rial let me know about. So I'm gonna go check in on some stuff with the Fae folk. You're gonna cheer me on? Oh my god, that would be so awesome. I want to set up a roaming like camera thing for my first ever 5K in 5 years. And I want to bring you guys with me. I want to bring you guys on like a GoPro or something and wear like a pack so that I've got to have enough battery power for a backpack computer setup. You guys will be on my water source watching through my camera, and I can look down at my phone and be like, there you are in the chat, and you'll hear my voice and you'll hear me huffing and puffing. You'll be at the race with me. If I can figure out a setup, then I'm gonna. Oh, that's the dream. I want to take you guys with me on all the adventures. I can't wait. It also feels so surreal, and I'm really nervous because I haven't done anything like this in a while, and I'm hoping I don't injure myself. But I'm gonna work really hard. I'm gonna get strong so that I can continue to do the things that bring me joy. And I hope that this can be motivation for you too. If I can do it, so can you. I was literally broken to the point where I could barely move without pain. Thank you, Mover and Shaker! Thank you for the follow! I was told I could not do it. That my life was going to be nothing but pain. And I got 4 second opinions. And I fought for my right to be comfortable and to move without pain. Everyone deserves a life like that. Hell yeah, Father Malakas. Show the world what limitless looks like. It is different for everyone. 1000%. My strong, to me, is being able to lift heavy again. Strong to me is being able to run again. Strong to me is being able to surpass the limits I was told I should have. Just to prove that I can. I think that's a good way of putting it. One step at a time. Day by day. Oh my god, my sister's streaming! We're gonna go raid my sister! Is she doxing herself? Oh, she's doing hand cam streaming! Yippee! We're gonna raid my big sister. She's doing art. I don't know what she's making, but it looks cool. Alright, you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out with D. I'm gonna go race. I will see you guys on the 13th. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your D. Okay, bye! Thanks for coming to hang out today, cuties. That's the last of our streams for the week. Dee's gonna be coming back in a week after the Spartan raid. Oh, that's the wrong button. After the Spartan race. Yippee. On the Twitch side, I'm gonna send you guys to go and raid Z. If you can drop D's raid message in the chat, raid 1 and raid 2, that would be awesome. Grab your raid message on YouTube. Have a wonderful day, YouTube. Take care, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.